And but it was also really weird as well because I used to be asked to write poems about really strange things that normally wouldn't inspire me, but that was a good experience as well. And you got a big shield, didn't I? And I carried it home to the pub.
Captain America style.
Yeah, it seriously was, yeah. And your name ends up on the shield. It's very like a school one, and I had it for a year. And it used to like change all around the house. It used to be in different spots. And I used to get it out and I used to feel like I was a superhero.
And then they came to get it back, and you're like,
no! Yeah, pretty much. I did give it. I was pleased that my year ended in a way.
I think I had to distract you and smuggle it back to the territory organisers.
Yeah, I was pleased to end the year because I wanted someone else to take that on. And MC Mixie, who is another great poet, who is Dead Poets with Mark, became the laureate after me. And that opened doors for him. And I think, as for different types of spoken word. So it's, it's great. I think it's a great title, but I think they should invent laureates for everything, There should be a title like that for, I don't know. And then who knows what it might open up for people. But yeah, disbelief is how I felt.
So you mentioned you're doing the underpass.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to actually, when's it going to be open and finished for people to see?
Well, it's partly weather dependent.
I'm guessing today's not the best day because you don't know it's
wet.
Actually chucking it down at the moment.
It is.
Yeah, I think pretty much mid-June would be good. Be a good time. That's any later than that, then hopefully mid-June latest. So the actual doing the work itself is, so the location, because it's kind of partly outside, and there's going to be a lot of there's public space and quite a sort of narrow kind of thoroughfare. The setting up and the doing and all the, you've got a lot of setting up before you can start painting and then not packing down. So actually, number of actual paint hours in a day, you can have to be quite, I'm not going to be that much. And because of the way it's going to have to be painted, the sequence, it might take longer than if it was just a wall in a non-public space where you could just kind of go and do it. There's various considerations which are there, but it should be mid-June, so it should be started next Monday, and that should be about 4 weeks then, which will be about 3 weeks of actual painting.
It must be awkward, especially since the walls are sort of like at a diagonal, so you're trying to paint something and the paint's just falling into your face.
Well, we're spray painting it, so that, and the stencils, so we're not cheating, but I won't be painting it because I'm just a poet, so but you don't want me stenciling anything, it'd be crazy. But yeah, and also Stuart, who's leading on it, he's painted a lot of the underpasses in the city, so Bluebell, Cuckoo's Hollow, River Care, he's painted quite a few, so he's a bit of it, he's experienced at it, and also as a street artist, that's your canvas. Big giant wall most of the time, so he knows what he's doing with that. But also, we've only commissioned in December, and we really wanted to make sure we did the right research process, which we have, and sketching. I think that they've really, because there's a team of 7 artists on it, they've really gone backwards and forwards and made sure that is appropriate, and also to get it signed off by the City Council and by Vivacity, because obviously they wouldn't want it on there if it was a big marijuana leaf or something like that. They wouldn't. So I think that.
I think a lot of people would already like that.
Well, they can go and do their own wall. But yeah, so I think that that's taken a long time. But now we've also got more daylight and it's going to get warmer, which it has been. I think it's the perfect time just to block. And also, as a collective, we'll be moving on to other projects from July onwards. So we really need to get it done as well. So
yes, mid-June.
Mid-June, yep. Don't hold us to it though, just in case. No.
So you guys have got this amazing space here at Vivacity's Peterborough Museum. Might as well just take their name off here.
Yeah, they'll love that.
What is this your biggest exhibit today, or would you say you had other ones which are bigger?
No, we've had the main space. We've had the biggest space, haven't you? There's the glass onion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so what, as Blok Collective, sort of exhibition space, yes, because
Yeah, I suppose so.
it depends on the context, but yeah, I think it's probably the most clearly defined exhibition, so yeah, possibly the biggest and the most sort of defined, because obviously it's attached to a really big public art kind of project, which is definitely the biggest thing that we've worked on. So yeah, I'd say yeah. But some of the other things we've worked on
As individuals,
have other
probably
sort of
not.
things in
probably.
different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's individuals or with other work we've done, no, it's probably mid.
Depends how you.
Yeah. That
Depends how you define it, but yeah, yeah, pretty, yeah, definitely.
So this is where can they find this? How long is this going to be here for?
It's here until the 25th of May, and it changes over on the 16th of May, or the 17th of May, to kind of show the final sketches that are definitely going to go into the underpass. And they can, if anyone comes in from today, which is the 8th, until the 15th, then there will potentially be either myself or Luke here to talk to people about the project.
So yeah, so the first 2 weeks, it's got a month exhibition. The first 2 weeks are sort of sketches, preliminary sketches, some of which won't be on the wall, but just the process, drawings and sketches. And that's on for 2 weeks, and then the changeover on the 16th.
And then it's sort of
will
a
be
week or so.
Artwork that's kind of like spin-off artwork. So work that's been inspired by but won't be included, might be in a different style or a different format. So yeah, that'll be finished pieces of work that will be probably, hopefully, quite different to what's actually going to be on the mural, but will be inspired by all the research and the process.
So I've written a poem for that that's inspired by the process, and I think another artist as part of the project, Amanda Rigby from Paper Rhino, is going to make that look beautiful rather than me scrawling it on a piece of paper. And you're coming up with some artwork as well, aren't you, inspired by it?
Yeah, so I think hopefully all 7 of us will be producing stuff.
So it might be a bit crazy.
Who doesn't like a bit of crazy?
Who doesn't like a bit of crazy? Peterborough does.
So, what is your favourite piece that's on the walls at the moment?
I know mine. Shall I say it? Grassroots Communities, which is a mythical creature, but it represents for me there are lots of wonderful local artists, people that do the litter picking, people that really care about Peterborough and do lots of wonderful things for the city all the time, and is often unsung and unseen, and that green figure kind of represents that, and there's quite negative forces trying to pull it down, and actually in the piece it's just throwing those negative forces off, and I think that for me is kind of what Peterborough is about. Because if you read the ET and they'll do a really nice story and then somebody will troll at the bottom and write something really horrible and negative about the city, and you think, number one, why are you living here? Number two, are you eating your pot noodle in your pants? Because if you are, you need to stop doing that and go and get a life. And I think we wanted to represent the fact that there is some negativity as well, and that we want to get over that. And it's kind of a bit of a homage to the fact that we come from grassroots organisations, so from the bottom up, and that they're really, really important. And it isn't always about resilient, yeah, and in even how negative it is, seems that we just keep growing and keep working together and keep trying to do new things. So not everybody will get that, but for me, that's my favourite piece. you?
I'm gonna have to agree. I think that's, yeah.
It's always good to agree. It's always good to agree.
Particularly when you're married. So yeah, I think that for me at the moment is my favourite. I just really love that, and I think it's because it's personal to us really in a way that we come from that grassroots scene, and you know like, it's great organisations in the city like Blok, which is grassroots, and Paper Rhino, Free Thinking, the Green Backyard. You know, amazing groups of people just getting together and just doing stuff. You know, I love the Hampton litter pickers that get together and just decide they're going to clean up the area they live in. They're so important. They're just so important. They often do so much for their community and just never ever heard about.
Yes, I think we also felt it was important to represent all of those things, all of those people and groups in the kind of history of Peterborough that we're painting. So yeah, it kind of, I think the guys worked it into that image of a sort of organic creature that's kind of hard to define. When you look at the image, it's yeah, it does represent it. But yeah, it's not immediately apparent what it is until you kind of delve into it. But yeah, it's important to have it represented in that, you know, in our telling of the history. Yeah, I think that's our favourite piece.
Yeah,
definitely.
that's it.
Yeah.
I really like it as well because I love the bright colours that are in the picture and then black on the sides. But personally, my favourite's Old Scarlo.
Yeah, you really like him.
I really like Old Scarlo, yeah.
Yeah, I love him too.
Fascinating character.
I really would like to write a play about him because I think you know to get Barry to Queens, he's a bit like Yorick, you know, from Hamlet. He's got that kind of vibe to him. Yeah. And also, we kind of wanted it a little bit dark in the underpass because it did used to be the main graveyard of the city. So there's a lot of
That was a bombshell you just flew.
yeah, maybe
Well, it was a graveyard.
yeah, actually it got so busy to the point where they were putting coffins on top of each other. All that area was
that
the
whole roundabout that's between the bus station and the Crescent Bridge.
And when they built Queensgate, they cleared all the coffins out.
Well, they think they have.
Well, yes, they don't know for sure. And people, when they were building Queensgate, they were still finding coffins. I won't tell you what they did with them, but they were still finding coffins. So it's actually quite, and also that area was where there's famously supposed to be grave robbing, happened in that cemetery. This was used to be the hospital, and then there was other surgery. There was a surgery as well, which was Robertson's Cycles. So it's actually quite a little bit of a bit of a dark area in our past, quite creepy. And I suppose we just wanted to represent that a little bit in there because I don't think people know that. I don't think people have got any idea. Now people are going to be.
I had no idea.
Now you're going to be like, oh my god, oogly boogly, walking down there.
Walking into that underpass at night.
But yeah, so that's what it used to be, and it just got too full to the point where you're walking through there, you could sink in because you know it was so full of coffins. Someone said to us, Richard from the archive said to me yesterday, he was like, well, you should have done Halloween themed, it would have been brilliant, you know, to coincide with the graveyard. And we're like, we don't want to frighten people too much. Underpasses can be quite scary as it is, let alone, you know.
Just put some gravestones at the bottom.
Oh, you know, maybe I'll put some up without Stuart knowing. Just do it. Oh, I've done a stencil. He'd hate that. Yeah, but now you know it used to be, and people should come and speak to Stuart and come to the museum and ask these stories. They are absolutely fascinating. What the city used to look like before Queensgate. We looked like York, you know, really old city, and even Bridge Street was really, really tiny. It was called Narrow Street. It was so narrow, and what they did is that to build the town hall in the 30s, they built the town hall behind all the shops and the houses that were there, and then knocked down the houses in front of them. and da-da, there's a town hall. So when we show pictures to students at Thomas Deacon Academy and at Voyager, they were really, really shocked at how the city used to look. So there you go.
There's one piece which kind of confused me until you explained it to me. The Romans, which I thought was quite interesting. So an entire legion disappeared.
Yeah, it's a famous story, myth and legend. The 9th Legion, they're known as the Ghost Legion as well. They were, you know, a full legion of 100 men, I think, and they famously went missing. They just disappeared, and they were stationed in Peterborough because this used to be a Roman fort as well, or used to be where the Romans. It's like their pottery capital, so this is where they got all their clay to make all their pottery.
And they just started doing ghosts.
well, who knows? And yeah, the Roman 9th Legion was apparently stationed here. So they are mentioned in the ghost talks and walks that are done as well in the city.
So have they not found anything of them? Like no armour, no...
Nothing. They just went missing. They literally went missing.
They went hooking.
They went hooking. I believe they were in the upstairs of the Guildhall. That's what I think they are. So yeah, they just, really interesting story. Connection with our past.
They were stationed here, they went off, disappeared.
Never seen again. We probably ended up in Wisbeach or something like that. I thought, do you know what, we'll settle.
Skegness.
Quite like Skegness. Let's not fight anymore. Let's just chill out and have an ice cream.
Where were they going when they went off? When they
Don't
were
know.
going on a campaign?
They were going on a campaign.
Is that right?
Might have been part of some crazy Caesars campaign. I don't know that. I was just more like aghast at the story. They just disappeared.
Is that your favourite image, Jan?
No,
yours is a Scarlet.
Oh,
image.
Scarlet, then that one, then...
The grassroots.
Grassroots.
And also the Walter Cornelius one are just sketches. When you actually see Walter finished off, it's beautiful. It makes me really happy. So there's some great images. I think the actual creative team behind it have just done a wonderful job of kind of creating these images that we hope will last for at least 25 years, if not longer. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
No, thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, great. Thank you.
Been lovely.
So, look, what's your next project? So, if anyone wants to get in see your next project when it's done as well.
I am opening at River Lane tonight from May the 8th to the 18th with Eastern Angles, big community play. After that, I'm doing a project called 3 Acres and a Cow, which is a show that details the whole history of land rights in the city, or in the UK, sorry. And we're basing that in the city, so I'm working on that, and then other stuff with Eastern Angles. And my own art work that I'm doing. I'm writing a show at the moment. What are you up to?
Well, lots of things come to mind. What's Blok doing next after this project?
Probably taking over the world.
Blok by Blok.
Yeah.
Blok by Blok.
I'm not sure what will be the actual next.
Maybe Overground?
Maybe Overground.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of concentrating on this thing so much, it's sort of not sure what's next for Blok. Yeah, probably the Overground Live Arts Jam, which hopefully should be in end of August at the Backyard.
Luke's doing an exhibition on May the 17th for a day as part of John Clare
Yes, I knew that was something. So it's John Clare's 150th anniversary this year.
Since he died. 250, I think.
And am I getting it completely wrong?
Who knows? I get confused with all these death dates.
I think it's funny when we celebrate the death, not the actual birth.
Yeah, like Shakespeare. Yeah, so that's...
Yeah, lots of little things in the pipeline which sort of, So stay tuned.
For more info.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
Okay, so the Calgate Underpass project is being run by Blok Collective with Paper Rhino. Paper Rhino are a design company based in Peterborough, and their underpinning ethos is to work with basically ethical companies and organisations. So they're an ethical design company working with charities and organisations whose business is sort of social good, that kind of thing. And Blok Collective is an arts organisation based in Peterborough who do a lot of community engagement, a lot of work creatively with community groups in the city, and the kind of lot of that sort of work is sort of manifests in different forms and different projects, but both organisations have a sort of community-focused approach to their work. So yeah, we're working together on the Calgate Underpass. So there's 7 of us in total that are actually developing the project.